everyone. Happy Friday and welcome back to Sin City Crypto. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts. Today we're talking about Binance. Executives are running for the hills. Should you do too? Also, we're talking about Bitcoin. The man himself, John Bollinger, says Bitcoin is ready for a massive pump. We're going to talk about that and much, much more. But first, here is Robbie.
Hola! Is your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take old, boring, and stale information and repackage it up in a fun and sexy way. And then I saw Bitcoin dumped under 30K yesterday, and it's back.
Hold on. Before we get into Bitcoin, we have a very important guest in house. So Rob's daughter is here. And we're not going to put her on camera, but I want to ask her a question. So, Riley, what are your thoughts on your dad's nickname, Big Rob? You think it fits him, or is it a terrible nickname? What are your thoughts?
It's okay.
It's okay. Okay. Also, you were there, and you.
That is.
Hold on.
That is.
She is speaking.
That is little girl talk for.
Stop.
Amazing.
Stop interrupting.
Okay. Thank you.
Also, Riley, you did video your dad singing at the Jabberwockies. What would you rate it, 1 through 10?
A 2.
A 2. Bam. Riley. We just became best friends. All right. Now, what were you saying about Bitcoin? Sorry, I had to get that out of the way. Hey, it's your daughter, man, not me. She said it. I didn't prep her.
29K for all of a part of the day.
Speaking of K, today's stream is brought to you in 4K by channel sponsor Cam's Blue Wire Technology. If I could literally explain to you the amount of time we've spent with their customer service, I would be able to write a 500-page book. Man, if it wasn't for them, honestly, we wouldn't even be streaming today. So big shout out to them. Not only do they sponsor our channel, but they're amazing, amazing people. If you want the same service we're getting, visit bluewiretech.com or click the link in the description of this video. Now, no videos today. No funny videos. Nothing funny.
That's it?
Nothing funny.
Nothing?
Oh, it's not possible. Nothing funny.
You know, Rob,
You couldn't find anything.
something.
I sent you something in the Instagram. I don't know if
You
you
did?
saw it. Yeah.
All right.
Is it another guy making a pizza?
It's an Italian. No, they're.
All right. Well,
Rocco only sends me Italian
How about
stuff.
this? It might not be funny, but I always got something that. Yeah, I mean, there's always the truck that's driving fully
Oh,
extended.
no.
That's
What the
always
hell is that?
No.
What the-
Yeah,
oh my
it
God.
is.
That's
Cocoa powder.
That is
there
not
we
real,
go.
dude.
That is real, bro.
What the hell?
No way.
That is definitely
That bridge
real.
would have. Okay,
It's a new way
Bridge,
to
man.
make
It's made of
chocolate.
concrete, bro.
that's terrible.
It's
Okay.
You ever seen like somebody driving down the road with like the trunk open? Not exactly to that magnitude, but same premise, you know.
Guys, if you're new here, say hello. We want to personally welcome you. I do have this. It's kind of interesting. So apparently, this new Threads platform, right? That's a Twitter clone, apparently launched by Mark Zuckerberg. When you go to sign up, it automatically imports. You select your profile, and it imports it from Instagram. I was trying to go on there and just nab the Sin City Crypto handle, but I couldn't. It wouldn't let me. Okay. So now apparently you'll lose your Instagram account if you try and delete your Threads account. This app has been touted as, oh my God, 40 million new signups in less than 24 hours or whatever the number is. But really, you're not really creating an account. You're just importing from Instagram. And not only that, but you can't even delete it anymore.
I'm tired of the interconnectedness of these social media platforms. And so anytime you sign up for anything, it's like, connect your Facebook. I'm like, who uses this thing anymore?
Facebook is such
yeah.
a dead platform.
I did find one other video as well. So this is the evolution of pizza delivery, right? So you got Uber Eats, and you got the guy that traditionally drives a car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the Uber Eats with the guy on the bicycle?
I have.
You have, yeah. So there's an evolution is progressive. Rocco, when you got a second, I got.
Are they riding a Mastodon?
No, so here we have a jetpack
Get the hell outta
Domino's,
here.
and so if you are in mountainous terrain and the bike doesn't suit it, there you go. Why not just use the jetpack to bring the pizza? Like, I have a suspicion the fuel for that thing costs more than the pizza does.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
And the insurance for the guys.
Insurance.
I'm gonna order
like
my pizza. There we go.
all the toppings have.
Why don't
had
we just
to
have
slip off?
Why don't we just have Iron Man
I
deliver
feel
it?
like I feel like he's just gonna start like a machine gun. Just gonna instead.
I think it's gonna cost less to open a pizzeria right there in the middle of nowhere.
It's gonna
open your
burn a
own-
little
Open a-
kid that he lands over
Pizzeria.
top of.
That's terrible. Okay. Happy you picked up the fun slack there.
There we go.
Now, what's not so fun is this. The U.S. national debt. By the way, we got the jobs numbers out today, payroll and the unemployment rate. We'll get into that in a second here. U.S. national debt has increased by damn near $1 trillion. $1 trillion since the debt ceiling was suspended last month.
Damn.
$935 billion in a month. We are so effed. We are so.
Bro, can we just like forgive my student loans? Because I mean, y'all just throwing this money out.
Listen,
here.
man.
you dangle the carrot. It's not like I'm just creating it. Like you told me.
The dollar is going to get wrecked, bro.
If
The
you
U.S.
promise-
dollar is going to get
If
completely
you promise somebody something, just follow through with it. You know.
This is,
If I say I'm gonna give you $10 and then I say never mind,
you've done that before, actually.
have I?
Yeah.
If I say I'm gonna give you $10, well, my wife actually told me I couldn't. That's exactly what Biden did. We're gonna forgive your student loans.
wife told me.
Actually, the court said I couldn't. Like, damn it.
Man, guys, and I know this is a running joke, right? Bitcoin fixes this, but literally, Bitcoin fixes this, right? I've always, growing up, my dad's always been a saver, and he always, taught me always have money in your savings. You never know what can happen, and it was always U.S. dollars. Even when we were living in Europe, my dad would always save in dollars. I think those days are over. I don't even feel comfortable having a majority of my emergency fund savings in dollars, and it's because of stuff like this. And I said it on the show yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. This next QE cycle, because there's going to be another QE cycle where they start printing money and handing money out, bailing banks out. This might be the last one where we can have QE without massive currency debasement and inflation here at stateside. This could be the last one, or the last one could have already happened. Because as countries start settling trade in currencies other than the US dollar, as countries stop holding dollar on their balance sheets, as in forms of U.S. treasuries, and as those things happen, people move away from the U.S. dollar, move over to BRICS or commodities or whatever the thing is. Man, I'm telling you, all that printing, all those treasuries that are going to be released by the Treasury Department, when there's no buyers from overseas, guess who's going to have to buy it? The Fed.
Hold on. We only got 33 likes here.
How many likes?
33.
No.
So we're at like a horrendous like ratio.
That's
way
horrible.
less than 50%. And
You know what? All right. Can you hear me now? All right. So what I was saying was Robin's pretty much my best friend now. And so, yeah, that's all we're going to talk about today, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So we're talking about the dollar, and what I was saying, I saw Matthew Barnes in the chat say, CBDCs, here we come. Call me a conspiracy theorist here, okay? You had Peter Schiff on David Lynn yesterday, on David Lynn's YouTube channel, talking about he thinks majority of banks are going to fail. Tinfoil hat, dollar, printing. They're scared. Banks start to fail. They let them fail. In comes the CBDC. The Trojan horse. Do you agree? It'll be labeled as a savior. Hey, guys, we can't save the banks. So here's the CBDC.
That makes sense in that narrative, sure. But the problem is that you can't launch, the Fed can't launch a CBDC without the permission of Congress, right? And there isn't bipartisan support. There's pushback against it. And I just don't see it happening right now, at least not in the short term. There has been pushback on the whole idea. Now, I think that eventually we get there, but it's not coming anytime soon. And so you can sit here and push these narratives. Oh, they're just warming up. They're the reason that the economy's in the dumps. The reason they're raising inflation rates is so that way they can bring that CBDC. Like, you can make up all those narratives, but realistically, it's not going to come. It's not happening. It won't be here this year. It won't be here next year, and it won't be here the following year. And if anything, a CBDC more than likely will not be here within the next 5 years. And so if that's the way, if that's just how it is, then this whole, like, they're warming us up for, like, I don't believe it, man. It's too big. When there's a conspiracy that involves multiple branches of government, thousands of people for something that's going to be years away, for something that is like, hey, we're going to do it this way, so that way we can get somebody that can buy stocks early. Like, it's way too far-fetched. It's way too integral. The most plausible scenario or situation is that politicians are just ruthlessly spending money they don't have and debasing our currency so that way they can get reelected. That's what's happening. We can sit here and say, well, they actually printed for that way the CBD. Like, no. You got a guy, he's sitting here, he's like, hey, I got a better chance of getting reelected if I pass this proposal and it needs a bunch of money we don't have. Whatever, we'll just print it. That's what's happening. It's through the course of history. It's not like all of a sudden we started printing money we don't have. We've always been doing it. And the root cause of that has always been, I want to get reelected, or I made a promise when I got elected to offer free health care, as an example. Or, hey, I wanted to, increase how much money the Medicare pays, or whatever it is, or increase the military spending budget. The narratives that people speak when they're getting elected through the campaign, they put into practice, they spend money. Or something's broken, they say they're going to fix it, they spend money. It's all about getting elected and reelected. That's it, man. It can make for a cool story.
Remember,
sure.
Nothing is free. Okay, someone pays for it.
Exactly.
So usually through inflation. I want to address Pamp and Dump. Said, we don't pay attention to our chat. Well, to prove to you that we do, you asked, is Zach XBT someone good to follow on Twitter? Yes. Yes, he is. We follow Zach XBT. Also, shout out to Alex81. SG said the U.S. funds 99% of the global conflicts and export weapons. USD will always be one of the most powerful currencies. Tides are turning, my friend. Tides are turning. Thank you for your $5 super chat. Either way, we appreciate it.
I think when it comes to world reserve currencies, it's the dollar. And then if you watch Ray Dalio's video or read his book on the change of the world order,
what a good video that was.
And so both the video and the book, the video is basically a synopsis of the book.
Amazing.
And the book is really good too, which if you haven't read that, I encourage you. It's The Changing of the World Order. And with that, it says that every roughly 80 to 100 years or 70 to 100 years, you have a change of the guard when it comes to the world reserve currency. Basically, what money do we use to transact internationally? Before the dollar, it was the pound, the British sterling pound. Before that, it was the French franc or Netherlands. I'm not exactly sure the
I
order,
think it
but-
was a Dutch.
And
We're not good.
a
at
lot
stuff.
of this it coincides with military power. Anyways, his premise or the thought echoed by a lot of financial experts that look back at history is to say, hey, there's going to be a new currency to take over. And so naturally we expect that it's going to be China, right? And the problem here is that I don't think it's going to be one currency replacing the other. I think it's now that technology has made it simpler for us to transact, and the fact that you don't need to hold a certain currency to do business, times have changed. If you want to travel, I mean, here's the best example. You want to travel internationally, I can just get on a plane. I can go to Mexico, Brazil, I can go to Europe, I can go to Africa, whatever. As long as they accept Visa or MasterCard or American Express, I just swipe. I don't need to move. I don't need to create a separate bank account and put, the lira in there. I don't need to go put euros in a separate bank account. I just go there with my freaking dollars, I swipe. And so if you think that institutions and governments can't necessarily do the same thing, you're mistaken. Now, you are charged you are charged extra fees for doing so, but at the end of the day, the technology is here. So I don't think that the dollar is going to be replaced by the yen, but I think the dollar is going to lose dominance to the field, right? I think that you're going to have a combination. You're going to have nations just simply transacting and trading in their own currency. Then you're going to have liquidity pools like the BRICS that are trading in gold-backed currency or in Bitcoin or in a basket of commodities that include Bitcoin. And you also are going to have stable coins. Who knows? There's going to be all kinds of different currencies that we use regularly and nations use regularly and corporations use regularly. That's going to be normal. It's the field. It's not replaced by one or the other. And the thing is the field is comprised of a lot of crypto.
Playing the field. ISO 202222 is here. And Fed now is also here pretty much. All right. Let's move this thing forward. Now, jobs numbers came out. Kobasi Letter. Follow them at Kobasi Letter on Twitter. Great content. Great stuff they tweet. June jobs data shows U.S. government jobs accounted, listen to this, for almost 30% of the added jobs for the month of June. So 60,000 out of the 209,000 added jobs for June were from the U.S. government. That's 28%. If these jobs were removed, the U.S. added just 149,000 jobs in June. Is this data bullish or bearish? And then we had this from Charlie Bilello. The U.S. unemployment rate moved down to 3.6% in June from 3.7% the month prior. The 3.4 reading in April was a 54-year low. So this is one thing the Fed hanged its hat on, says the employment market is still strong. It's resilient. People aren't losing jobs, so we can continue hiking rates, which, by the way, we're at 95% on the CME that we're going to get a 25 basis point rate hike in July. What do you make of all this, Robin? Are we going to get another rate hike in July? Are you going with the CME?
I just don't see the logic behind raising the interest rate.
Jobs, bro. Jobs. Inflation. Still not 2%.
There's so many things around.
The Fed is going to destroy the banking sector. The Fed is literally going to destroy the banking
That's
sector.
what I'm saying. And the scary part is that we had a pause last month, right? The first one since they started raising hikes. And this is forward looking, right? So they changed the inflation rate. It doesn't really play through the system for about 6 months, I think is what I've heard a lot of analysts say. And
I mean, interest rates.
Yeah, if we raise interest rates, you don't see the impact of it for usually 3 to 6 months. And so we had one pause, and we had three of the largest bank collapses, 3 of the 4 largest bank collapses in U.S. history happen within the span of a few, or within like 1 month, I think it was, or a month and a half. And that was just a couple months ago. And the scary thing is you're going to have the next quarterly reports coming out soon for the banks. And that's what kicked it off the first time, right? Well, if you forgot, what kicked off this whole banking collapse was the fact that you had the quarterly reports come out for the California bank, the First Republic, and they were drastically underperforming or had some issues. And then all of a sudden you had a sell off in the stock. So quarterly reports come out. Everyone's like, yo, this bank ain't doing so good. And the thing is that what happens when you raise interest rates again? The next quarterly report comes out. Banks aren't doing so good. People are going to flight. I think the thing is I wouldn't put it past the Fed to raise interest rates. And that's just the environment we're at. And I think that they are trying to stress the markets to the point to where they break it. They got a stick and they're bending it, and they hear it cracking, and they're just not stopping, man.
Here's the thing. They just came out. If you remember last week, they came out and said, we did stress tests on the banks. They're fine. They're fine.
They say they're fine because they're backstopping it by printing money, which is a whole nother
$1 trillion in a month, guys. Yeah. $1 trillion in 1 month. Speaking of trillions, well, not trillions. Bobby Kennedy Jr. Said he holds between $100,000 and $250,000 of Bitcoin. Man, I really hope this guy gets a Democratic nod. If we get him and we get another pro Bitcoin, pro crypto on the other side, we can't lose. I love it. Also, Russia has become the world's second largest Bitcoin miner. Second largest. Mm-hmm. Robin says there's an arms race. There's an arms race.
But that's for private sector mining. The arms race is going to come from nation states acquiring Bitcoin at some point, in the same way that they hold on to gold in the national treasury. So just wait, man. At some point, somebody's going to do it. Right now, El Salvador's a tiny little country, man. I think what's the population of El Salvador? I think it's like a few million.
Not sure.
I think like 60 million, 6 million. I think it's 6 million.
Huge. It's not huge, actually. Well, Robin looks that up.
Population.
Let me look at you.
Yeah,
let me give a shout out.
6 million people live in El Salvador. Just put that into context. You have 1.2 million people live in Las Vegas. So just to put in a perspective, the size of El Salvador's population versus it's basically 1/5 of the population of that country is just here.
California's like 7x that. Just California.
Yeah.
Guys, before we move on to our markets and where Bitcoin is, let's give a shout out to our other channel sponsor, I Trust Capital. They're the leader in crypto retirement accounts. If you plan on hodling Bitcoin, Ethereum, any other large cryptocurrencies, you're going to want to set up a Roth IRA account so you can pull out all your gains tax-free when you're ready to retire. Visit itrustcapital.com, or even better, click the link in the description of this video. So huge shout out to them. With that being said, Robin,
what's that? We did have a few new people. We had Pump and Pamp, as you said earlier, Hasib Anwar, also Cash in on Crypto, Glenn, and In My Hero, Crypto Surfer. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. And then taking a quick look at the markets here, we do have Bitcoin coming in at $30,221.86. You can see that we are right in that same range that we've been at all week in the last 24 hours. But we did have a spike down to 29.8 and then rebounded pretty quickly within the span of 2 hours. We were back over 30K, holding support there. And 30K support, super strong,
I mean,
David?
yeah.
Yeah. You know, do you think we trade at any significant period of time, or let's just say over a week under 29,000?
Without like a big catalyst, negative catalyst?
Yeah. Without any
No.
like big,
No.
giant, terrible news.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
So then taking a quick look at the other overall market with some of the biggest gainers and losers, you got eCash up 8%, also Solana up 5%, Curved up 2%,
Solana
Uniswap
pump.
2%, and then on the biggest losers on the day, you got Phantom, ApeCoin, Frax Maker, and Zcash. I saw a new gameplay video of ApeCoin of the other sides. And it looked pretty good, man. I'll say that.
Wait, what?
It looked good. The environment looked good.
Hold on, you're not hating on Yuga now?
No, I hate on it.
Okay.
But here's the thing. It doesn't matter if it looks good. It just, you need to have the ecosystem in place for it to do what it's supposed to do. Here's the thing. I can go run around in Grand Theft Auto. It looks good, but is that a place where people that aren't gamers are going to hang out and chill at all day long? No, you gotta have a social media environment, right? You need to foster communication. You need to have people put NFTs up there, create communication in some form, or at least share your media with friends. You need to have your friends plugged in.
You think ApeCoin's a good hold? Essentially,
I've said it's the worst coin. I've been so against this from the get-go. First of all, it was an airdrop to privileged people. Am I wrong?
so because someone minted a board
I'm
ape
not saying
and is
I'm
sitting
not
on
saying,
200K,
I'm
they're
not saying
privileged.
that it is the wrong way of going about it. I'm not saying people that have it didn't deserve to get it over somebody else. I'm just saying that if you were to look at, hey, we're going to have an ICO or a sale or distribution or an airdrop or whatever it is, if you just simply give it to people that hold a $60,000 NFT and they're predominantly the only people that get it, I mean, it is what it is. If all of a sudden Ferrari decides to give out the Ferrari coin to anybody that owns a Ferrari, I'll be the first one to tell you, hey, privileged people got Ferrari coin. I'm just, it's the facts, bro.
Then stop being broke and get a Ferrari, bro.
I want a Ferrari. I don't want a Ferrari.
I don't
or
want a
Lambo,
Ferrari
man.
either.
Yeah.
I don't want a Ferrari.
If I get a Lambo, I'm gonna get the SUV Lambo. That thing's pretty dope.
That thing is, I've driven one.
Have you?
Dope. Sick.
I'm more of a Mercedes. I see. The thing is, I want comfort. Like for me, it's not Lambo and Ferrari. It's Rolls Royce and Maybach, and maybe one of those like nice BMWs or something.
I don't like
Ferrari.
BMW.
I go with Ferrari.
There's some.
Rocco said he's going with a
there's-
Fiat.
Yeah,
What he said? What he said?
I think he said Ferrari.
He said Fiat.
He said Ferrari.
What's that weird car from Italy?
Say the guy that had
The weird car from Italy.
It's got two names.
The weird car from Italy. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Forget the name. I'll find it for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. I did mention the godfather of the Bollinger Bands, and by godfather, I mean the guy who literally created them, John Bollinger, said classic Bollinger Band pattern on the Bitcoin USD daily. Blast off, rip through the upper band, consolidate, fund support at the middle band, turn higher, hashtag BTC. What he's talking about? Well, I don't know what he's talking about. But here we have on the daily Bitcoin USD from Coinbase. You have what we can see is the Bollinger Bands are starting to constrict. And anytime we see constriction in Bollinger Bands, you see a violent move to the upside or downside. That is what we got to figure out. It's happened here, here, and here again. This move was about a 10% move. This move, if you count it from when it broke out from the bottom to the top, you're looking at 25%. Will we get more of the same? Alfa Romeo. Thank you. There it is. Alfa Romeo. So that's what Rocco wants.
Alfa Romeo is a nice car, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Romeo.
I didn't say it's not a nice car.
You
Saying it's an Italian car. Rocco is very through and through. He's Italian. He's got marinara running through his veins.
I feel like you're just saying Italian products.
No, I'm not.
You're like marinara.
Doesn't know.
First of all,
Doesn't-
is
doesn't know what
marinara
he's
not
talking
even
about.
Italian? It's like a American based.
Are you kidding me? They call it gravy in Italy.
Yeah, sure.
Let me get my meatball. Add some extra gravy.
Yeah, they probably call it barbecue sauce.
No, that's in the. That's in
Is
the
there
States.
such a thing,
No.
Rocco, as
I
as
yelled at my wife
marinara
yesterday.
And
Marina.
I yelled at my wife yesterday. She
Wow.
bought ribs from Costco. She cooked them. Like, where the hell's the barbecue sauce?
is there
There was no barbecue sauce.
is there such a thing as marinara, Rocco, in Italy?
So
I never heard, maybe in south of Italy somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe
But
what?
I never heard marinara. With the tomato sauce.
Hey, what do you mean you've never heard of marinara?
Okay, the
Marinara is
marinara.
American,
I'm telling
bro.
you what is marinara. Marinara is the name of a pizza. There is just a white crust with tomato and oregano.
that is
a
called
marinara.
margarita.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. That's not a margherita. It doesn't have any tomato. And Napolitana is a margherita with anchovies on top.
Yeah,
But you will
I
never
know
see-
what he's gonna say. He said Napoleon. He's gonna be like, that's the 3-flavor ice cream.
I love ice cream. It's my favorite.
There we go. Barbecue ice cream.
Uh,
Barbecue sauce ice cream.
What are we talking about? Bitcoin.
ice cream.
There we go.
Violent move.
Yeah.
What are we going to see? Stay tuned.
We got two. Robert Triana is a 2-month member on the Center Club,
Yeah.
and then we got Crypto Billy, a 10-month member on the Whale Club.
Crypto Billy. I want to give a shout out to Crypto Billy. He helps us a lot. Billy, we love you, man. Thank you so much. And all the mods in here as well. Thank you guys so much for keeping the chat going, keeping it
Also,
in.
Black Knight says he yelled at his wife yesterday as well. You're starting a trend, David.
Yeah.
There you go.
But are you a boss? Can you get away with it? I don't know. I can.
Um,
Anyways, let's move on. Binance. The executives are running for the hills. Should you run for the hills? And I swear to God, if I see one thing in the comments saying this is FUD, I'll be a little upset on the inside. Now, Binance boss brushes off senior departures as FUD. Now, before I read this article, guys, I want to. So there's some people who any bad news, any negative news towards their project, the exchange they use, anything that can be perceived as negative, they call it FUD. It's FUD. It's BS. And then when something happens, oh my God, we didn't see it coming. Why didn't anyone say anything? Well, here we are. We're saying something. Binance, I don't know, man. To me, not a good sign. You got executives, multiple executives leaving randomly. They're over here calling it, oh, it's part of business. No, sorry. You're a detective. You're trained not to believe in coincidences. Is it a coincidence that Binance offices in Australia searched by local regulators? They got kicked out of Belgium. They got their license revoked in France. Germany's reviewing their license and probably going to revoke it. The U.S. is going to file a criminal investigation, potentially, is what we're hearing. And then you got executives leaving in mass. Are you really going to sit there and tell me, nope, business as usual? Business as usual. No. This is the point, guys. The point is we're students of the game. We pay attention, we listen, and we're able to front run certain things, right? And here we are. I'm not saying Binance is going under. I'm just saying, be careful. Things are starting to look a little weird.
FUD alert.
All right.
FUD alert.
Bug alert. Yeah, or FUD alert, whatever. Binance boss brushes off the departures as FUD. Of course he does. This picture here, number 4. Binance chief Changpeng Zhao, also known as CZ, branded reports surrounding the departures of senior executives. He said it's FUD. Shocker. Claiming they're simply part of normal staff turnover. Yeah, it's very normal that 3-4 of your executives just randomly leave in the same week. Senior execs depart. A number of senior executives, including General Counsel Han Ing, Chief Strategy Officer Patrick Hillman, and Senior Vice President for Compliance Stephen Christie, have informed CZ of their departure this week. This is what Hillman said. I've been here for 2 years, and it's simply time for me to move on to the next challenge. I don't know, man. Something's fishy to me, bro. What do you think? And don't just argue with me. Just argue with me.
No, I'm
like,
not.
Honestly,
I'm not. I'm still on the. I know it is coincidental. I get that, but the thing is I don't think that Binance is in jeopardy of going under. I think they're fine. So if that's the reality of it, unless there's some fire behind the scenes, they are closing offices in different places. There are regulatory roadblocks being put up. Every exchange is dealing with it. It's not just Binance. Binance is just the largest exchange, so they get the biggest headlines. But all exchanges are having regulatory compliance issues. And so at front and center, Binance is the target, especially since they're being the fingers being pointed by the U.S. government, Congress, SEC, CFTC. They're all pointing the finger at CZ and Binance. And so the narrative is being echoed nice and loud. He's the enemy of the United States. He's the enemy of many countries, and doesn't really stop Binance from operating. In the same way that Bitcoin was labeled the enemy of, it was a scam, it was the way to laundering money, it was the currency of Silk Road and how to buy illegal drugs, and they would throw in money, they would throw in human trafficking in there and prostitution and all this mess. They would throw as much mud as they could at crypto, Bitcoin, and the exchanges in the past. You think now all of a sudden the regulators and also traditional finance, all of these people are just like, you know what? Everything is great. We love crypto. However, we just have a problem with Binance. No, this has been the ongoing attack on crypto since it came out. It's repackaged up in a new and fun way. That's all it is. And I think that the movement of people in a bear market is to be expected. I can tell you, I have not had a job in the history of Rob. I have not had a job or career, or I worked in an environment that had over, say, 100 employees, that all of a sudden 3 people didn't quit at the same time. You've worked somewhere where 2 managers left within the span of a month. You've worked somewhere where 3 managers left in the span of a month.
But executives, Robin?
Well, that's what I'm saying. High level people in your pod. And you can go here to Caesar's Palace and MGM, and you've had high level execs leaving at the same time as well. This is natural business turnover. I'm not saying that there isn't a correlation to, I'm not saying it's impossible there's any correlation. I'm just saying that, especially in giant companies that are publicly traded, I know Binance is not that, but I'm just giving you an example. Large companies in the U.S. that are publicly traded, that have a large board members, they have thousands of employees. If all of a sudden 3 people leave, doesn't mean that there's some kind of, it doesn't automatically mean that there's some fire going on behind the scenes. Sometimes things just line up that way.
What's that saying, Robin? Where there's smoke, there's what? Where there's smoke, there's fire?
And where there's smoke, sometimes there's FUD too.
What?
That's, yes, exactly that.
When there's smoke, there's a flood.
So you're telling me, okay, if we ran a company and 3 board members just happen to quit at the same time, does that mean our company
and
sucks?
Everything else that's going on while Coinbase is getting licenses overseas, Binance is getting shut down?
At what point, outside of the 1.5 year bull market run up, at what point is there not been fire in exchanges? At what point has there been
Binance is literally being targeted on a global scale,
and so has all crypto exchanges over the course of crypto history.
Companies like Coinbase right now are getting licenses in countries that they weren't operating in.
Sued by the,
they're
expanding. They operate in the U.S. and the U.S. alone. They're currently trying to expand, and they're currently getting sued by the U.S. The one place that they run.
Crypto adoption is growing overseas and everywhere.
But
yes.
What I'm saying is that,
and the largest exchange is getting shut off, and executives are leaving.
Crypto has always been front and center attack, pointed finger. And if you think all of a sudden the whole crypto space is la la land here and it's flowers and sunshine, and the one bad actor is Binance, and so you're like,
I didn't say the one bad actor is Binance, but
what
to sit here and say to not be concerned
I'm saying is that outside of the 2021 bull run, there has always been bad taste over all the exchanges. All of them. And so at any point in time, outside of that 1.5-year window, if 3 executives left from any company, you could easily say, well, look, crypto, they're getting attacked. I mean, it just so happens to be that everybody hates crypto. Everybody hates crypto except for that 1.5 years. Outside of the crypto community.
What happened with FTX, Robin? How many executives stepped down before FTX went under? What happened with Celsius, Robin?
How many execs?
What happened with Voyager,
How many
Robin?
execs have stepped down from different companies that didn't go under? How many shuffling of people? But
it's not just one thing. It's not just one thing, though. It's not just one thing.
Okay,
it's multiple things.
I'm not saying that there is no chance that there's a correlation. I'm just saying that like companies have turnover. It's natural. And sometimes they happen to come together in bunches. And you always want to think of there's some underlying reason. The underlying reason could be we're in a bear market and people just aren't getting bonuses and they're fed up and they got a good deal somewhere else, bro.
What do you mean they're not making bonuses? We've been in a mini bull run for 6 months. The crypto market has been up over 80%.
We are not in a mini bull run.
We're not in a mini.
We are
so
up
Bitcoin
2x
going up 80% in 6 months is not a mini bull run,
bro. Volume is down. Exchanges make money off of volume. Okay, that's how they make money. They don't make money off of the price of Bitcoin. Yes, they might make more money when Bitcoin's at a higher price. I understand that, but exchanges make money off of trading volume. Trading volume is at a historic low. For this cycle, and so the traders aren't here. Maybe we bumped up in the last few weeks since the BlackRock news came out, but exchanges are not making as much money as they were during the bull market, not even close. And so at that point in time, they're probably throwing out bonuses left and right. Exchanges are still treading water, man, especially with the fact that regulators are coming in and shutting down all kinds of different U.S.-based and European-based operations.
I'm just saying, man, where there's smoke, there's fire, just like on your screen you're watching. And I'm not saying Binance is going to go under. I'm not even saying it's anything they've done or that it's their fault. I'm just saying they're obviously being targeted. Can they overcome a global man or witch hunt for Binance? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm telling you, the viewer, just be careful. Okay? Let's move on. Now, another exchange founder, Jesse Powell, had his home raided by the FBI. They carried, and now this is some BS, okay? This is something.
This is BS, but Binance, Binance is under fire.
Yes,
you're sitting here saying,
let me explain to you why.
Be careful. I'm not sure. And the FBI raided the CEO of Kraken's thing, and you're saying not a big deal.
Yes,
and then 3 board members leave, and you're like, guys, I'm not telling you to
Can you
run.
let me speak and finish? They carried out a search, but it had nothing to do with crypto. It was because of his nonprofit here accused him of interfering with computer accounts and blocking access to email for his Verge Center for the Arts.
You blindly
nonprofit.
believe all of this, but yet
it has nothing to do with crypto. It's his nonprofit.
I get that.
This has nothing to do with crypto. Kraken is not getting shut down overseas. They're not getting shut down in the U.S. There is no criminal investigation.
I understand, but I find it comical that you believe that BS narrative that the FBI is searching this guy's house. What do you like? And yet you'll pull up yarn strings for Binance and say
it's not yarn strings. It's evidence. It's proof.
So there's no correlation that the Kraken CEO got his house raided by the FBI, and you're
saying
they
going to find
it has
his house?
nothing to do with
What are they going to find? Did they raid Kraken's headquarters? They went to the guy's house. What are they going to find in the guy's house?
Bro,
Bitcoin laying around?
I can't even with you today, bro.
You can't even with me. You're lucky your daughter's in here. I swear to God, I'd be cursing up a storm right now. Riley?
The fact that you're defending the FBI and
I'm not defending. I'm just saying it's not related to crypto.
The CEO of Kraken.
It's not related to crypto.
Okay, give me 1 second. So let me just get this right. But before you interrupt me, so you think that 3 executive members leaving Binance,
among other things,
hold on, wait, just let me talk, please. You're saying that 3 board members left Binance in a short period of time, and there's no connection They all said that they were leaving on their own regard to go get other jobs. Let me talk. And
You're so vanilla,
so they say that. Now that could be a bull that could be just a front. I agree. I'm not saying that there's no chance. I'm just saying that. Okay. And now you think it's U.S. regulatory concerns, they're shutting down offices, it's an attack on Binance, and they're stepping down because there's fire behind the scenes, and you're going with that whole yarn string narrative, and then the FBI raids the CEO's house, and you're saying it had for a crypto exchange that got booted out by the U.S. Was in the process of trying to get booted out by the U.S., and you're saying that there's no correlation to the fact that he runs a crypto organization. It just so happens that this guy's name he is who he is. There's just absolutely no correlation to crypto. And you just blindly believe the FBI's narrative on that. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Of all the crazy things,
Says the guy,
from the Mr.
says the most
Conspiracy guy.
vanilla guy.
From the guy
the
that
most vanilla guy over here who can't like
Vanilla.
separate one from one. Binance is having their corporate offices raided. This guy is having his personal home raided for the Verge Center of Arts and for him blocking
their
emails.
office in, what was it, Australia?
Australia
That
and
is
France.
Not, they are not based in Australia.
It doesn't matter where they're based.
Offices
they're going
raided.
after the business, not CZ. If they're going after CZ, I'd be like, okay,
You're
no big deal.
stretching that narrative. They
How
got
is
their
that stretching the
offices
narrative?
raided. They got their corporate offices raided. Their Australia office got raided.
Binance offices in Australia reportedly searched by local regulators.
We all know the bread and butter of Binance is their Australia office, guys.
That's not the point.
It is in trouble. Sell your Binance, liquidate your account. Their Australia office has been raided. Is game over. But hey, you know what? Don't look any further. CEO of another exchange, he got it raided, but it's all good. It's a nonprofit. Nothing to do with crypto here, guys. Nothing to see here. Thank you.
Breaking news, guys. Pep is pumping.
All right, let's move on. Crazy. All right, so Multichain, another hack. $120 million drained from the Multichain bridge. Let me make this a little bigger for you guys. Multichain, which is a cross-chain bridging protocol that operates on dozens of blockchains, has been hit by an exploit whose cause is yet to be determined. Over $120 million worth of digital assets were transferred to unknown wallets. Now, Multichain has asked users to revoke all approvals related to its smart contracts and to stop using its services. So if you, for some reason, use Multichain, be aware. Also, we covered an Ethereum potential upgrade. This was either yesterday or the day before, where they want to introduce essentially a backstop to where if a DeFi protocol does get hacked, you have the option of freezing those assets. And I'm not sure exactly the
That
intricacies.
would not fit to this because this is a chain that connects. The multi-chain, if you're not familiar with what they're doing, is they're trying to be the layer zero, they're trying to be the cosmos, they're trying to be the interconnectedness between different layer ones. They are not using a token issued by Ethereum. They're trying to make Ethereum swaps and other chain swaps seamless. They're trying to bridge that, which is where they got their name from, multi-chain. And they're not a transfer of a certain token on Ethereum. So that would not work there.
I get what you're saying, because it's not a specific protocol.
Yeah. This is chain to chain. This is one ecosystem to another. And there's tons of vulnerability because think of it, when you have a bridge, think about it, you have all the security of one chain. So let's just say we're going to Ethereum to Avalanche. They're compatible with one another. So let's just say you have a bridge between the two. You have all the nodes that are providing consensus and providing security for Avalanche. Same can be said with Ethereum. And all the transactions are verified. If you move from one chain to the other, there's the point of vulnerability where it's, essentially in limbo, right? And there, if you don't have the security, if you don't have the same level of security that you have on Avalanche and Ethereum on that bridge, then it is the weak point, right? if you're going to steal money from a bank, you can either steal it from the Federal Reserve, if you're, or you can steal it from the central bank that's issuing the money. You can steal it from the actual bank branch, or the place that has the least amount of security, that only has 2 security guards, is the armored truck that travels between the two, right? If you're I'm not saying that that's an easy way of stealing, but it's probably easier to attack that point because there's less security infrastructure and the transition point. So be very careful when it comes to bridges. I wouldn't touch any of those. And I think that regular retail people don't have much incentive to use it.
But some people use a bridge without knowing it.
They do.
But yeah, I agree. Bridges
A
now.
lot of people want to just participate in DeFi, and there is a lot of bridges and third parties that are intertwined there. So I'd recommend doing research if you're going to use something that isn't inside the top 10. If there's any kind of utility, this goes for browser-based wallets as well. And this goes, if you're browser-based wallets, them things are using different chains. And if you go down and you say, hey, I want to swap, for example, you open up your MetaMask and you go to do one of those swaps and you don't use Uniswap, it'll give you like a bunch of different quotes from different DeFi platforms. Those are all sus platforms, man. Like, be careful there. If you're swapping at the wrong time, at the same time that there's a vulnerability or hack, you can get your tokens compromised.
Well, not just that, the tokens that live on the bridge, right? Because you have to have tokens from either side living on the bridge. So when you swap, it just, and I think 88 Metal Mania put it perfectly. It's like anything. The most dangerous time is when you're in transition from one secure place to another secure place.
Yeah.
So
like I said, armored car, a bridge. Because Ethereum network's secure. Avalanche's network is secure. That we're not questioning that. But if you want to send from one platform to another and you use a bridge, use a third-party bridge, be careful.
Okay. All right, let's talk about some bullish news. So Bitcoin fund holdings explode amid institutional crypto hype. A source from Finbold, institutional interest in Bitcoin has been on the rise after a wave of applications by prominent Wall Street firms seeking to launch a spot Bitcoin ETF. And look at this chart. So this is Bitcoin held by funds, okay? We saw I want to say, well, not an all-time low, but a yearly low of around 830,000 Bitcoin. And now it's up to 850,000 Bitcoin. Now, Rob, I showed you, and I'll pull it up again to show you again. So we go to CoinGlass and we take a look at the Bitcoin on exchanges. And remember that day I showed you that there was over 40,000 that got pulled from Coinbase?
Yeah.
We're seeing on the 7-day, 47,000 Bitcoin has been pulled off of Coinbase. Now, this is Coinbase Pro. This is not Coinbase Custody. So this could potentially be them pulling off Coinbase Pro, and they could still be using Coinbase Custody, and the numbers would still look like this. Is there a correlation to what we're seeing here, Bitcoin being pulled off exchanges, to what we're seeing in this article, is these funds are accumulating Bitcoin? There has
I
to be,
don't
right?
think I don't think it's BlackRock. I'll just say that.
Okay.
I don't think it's BlackRock. I think it's institutions that do have exposure to crypto. Let's just give MicroStrategy as an example. And I think
By the way,
that
do you know BlackRock owns 7% of MicroStrategy?
I don't think it's quite 7. I think it's 5.6.
No. It's I thought it was 9, but
It's less than 7.
I will find out.
'Cause I remember I looked it up about last week. And so I think they own 5.6%.
About 6.
And they own a lot of stuff, man. They own
Oh yeah,
they own
8.1%.
They own 8.1%.
BlackRock has filed an S form with the Securities and Exchange Commission disclosing ownership of 757,000 shares of MicroStrategy, which equates to 8.1%. This was in February of this year.
All right.
Some say that's considered exposure to Bitcoin, right?
It
It doesn't mean that they're pro Bitcoin. Just saying. They're pro money. They're pro making money.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, guys, it's just the beginning. We're going to see more and more of this. And again, principle of economics, like just the basics, supply and demand. When people want something, is not enough of it, the price goes up. When people are going to start wanting Bitcoin, and these hodlers, these Bitcoin maxis, even the non-maxis, people like us who believe in Bitcoin long term, we refuse to sell our Bitcoin. There's only a certain amount that's out there. There's only a certain amount that gets mined every block. There's only a certain amount. And once that demand comes and the supply schedule stays the same, guys, how are you not bullish on Bitcoin? How are you not bullish on Bitcoin? Are you bullish on Bitcoin, bro?
Is that a real question?
No, it's not a real question. Yeah. You got any closing thoughts on this funds and?
I will say that.
Sin City Crypto. Cash is
Hi, guys.
convey. Sin City Crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin is your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya. City.